Oh, wait. I wanted to go to the prison. Did I press wrong? It's time, Mr. Naruhodo. You must hurry back to the prison. Yes, I know. Let's hail a cab. Oh. What's the matter? It looks like something's going on over there in front of the Garrideb's house. Huh? Oh my goodness. Oh god, what? Who is this clown? I know not thee, old man, fall to thy prayers. Who are you calling an old man, you rum-looking niminy-biminy? But there are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. Who is this Horatio fellow, eh? What are you on about? Excuse me. Eh, what the... Who are you, no? I'm sorry, it just looked as though there might be some problem here. And my associate here, Mr. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, is a lawyer, you see. Sato-san, please don't drag me into this. Hey, a lawyer? What? If I can be of any assistance, I'd be happy to help. I'm from Japan and I have studied English law. Huh. Fine, I'll be on my way for today, but you mark my words. This ain't over yet. He looks like a mailman, right? Get into a nunnery. Do I look like a blooming nun to you? Oh my god, who is that? I do hope you're not injured. Oh, fair Easter maiden, thou art so gentle, thank you. What was that all about? There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. Are you like an actor? At the theater? I'm not Horatio either. Forgive the inquiry, sir, but are you a lodger here? In the Garrideb residence? Oh, fair Easter maiden, thou art so right. Yes, I do dwell in this humble abode. Mr. Garrideb mentioned that he had another lodger, didn't he? This must be the man. Do you happen to know... Oh, sorry, that is me. Do you happen to know the other lodger who lives on the first floor? Ah, yes, a gentleman named Natsume. Oh, you remember his name. Oh, more worthy a polemist than my battle of words ne'er could there be. Sorry, battle, did you say? Who is the stronger, Hamlet or Macbeth? Mr. Nutman's eyes barred along into the night. Oh, you're also a fan of English literature, I see. I don't fully understand, but it seems Mr. Natsume and this gentleman are acquaintances at least. So, fair maiden, so good gentleman, I can tarry here no longer. Fare thee well. I didn't really understand him, but I think he's returned to his room. It seems he is unaware of what's happened to Mr. Natsume, so he can't really help us. With Soseki-san and that man as lodgers, the Garrideb house is certainly full of eccentrics. Anyway, I'll go and find a carriage. Yes, I'm sure Mr. Natsume is eagerly awaiting our return. Let's hope we can get to the prison before visiting hours are over. Oh god, I forgot his voice. Wait. Oh, it's you! You're here, you came! Welcome, student Mr. Naruhodo, Esquire. I can't believe he came back. I'm so touched. We are so sorry to have kept you waiting, Mr. Natsume. Oh, Sato-san, so professional as always. Oh no, think nothing of it. Relax. If I were a cat, I would purr with pleasure at the company of such fine compatriots. No, literally, never feeling Nipponese. Oh, now let's not get carried away. Oh, that must be Baroque, right? Oh, I quite agree. There's nothing more reassuring than the familiarity of one's native land. On the other hand... Oh no, that's Sherlock! It is through friendship transcending international borders that one truly appreciates the fact. Such is my belief, at least. Oh yes, it's you! The miserable, rotten spy, Herr Lock Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing here? I have no intention of doing anything per se, save observing, of course. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? Well, having encountered some curious reading material in that gloomful room, and having unmasked the secret identity of that eccentric pair, I decided I should drop in on my way home to see how our divested friend is faring. Gloomful room? At least your accommodation here offers a window, my dear fellow. In that sense, it is the superior option. Anyways, I must commend you on your taste in books. My day has been a delight and cost me not a penny. Ah, you! How dare you, Herr Lock Sholmes! I've had it. I'm through. I'm at the end of my rope. I should never have come to Great Britain. It was a terrible mistake. Haunted by spirits in those accursed lodgings. No doubt my luck will be cursed in tomorrow's trial as well. My whole life has been damned. What are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo? He mentioned that once before, didn't he? That his lodgings were cursed, I mean. And there is much truth in Mr. Mustache's words. What? Cursed is a wholly appropriate description, I would say, for the man's lodgings, and indeed for tomorrow's trial. What's that supposed to mean? Please don't draw the devil on the wall. Mr. Natsume, what did you mean by what you just said now, about the trial tomorrow being cursed? Oh no, why are you looking so grave? You're making me nervous. I was just getting carried away, that's all. I didn't mean anything by it. Oh, I see. That's really agitated him. You don't mean the trial really is cursed somehow? Are you referring to the prosecutor, the Reaper of the Bailey? The Reaper? Oh no, what do you mean? Please tell me. Summarize it succinctly in 16 salient words. No defendant has ever survived a trial in which the Reaper stands for the prosecution, ever. Oh my goodness, can that really be true? That was 16 words exactly! Wait, really? Oh my goodness, Ryunosuke! You're a genius. Yesterday, Mr. Naruhodo successfully defended someone against the Reaper. Yes, but because the accused planted some fake evidence. That's crazy. But then, after the trial was over, the defendant passed away in unusual circumstances. Mr. McGill did. What? I am impressed, Mr. Sato. You have an eye for detail. Actually, the Lord Chief Justice told us. Mr. Sholmes, surely it can't be that having failed to have the accused convicted, Lord Van Zieks killed the man himself? No way, I don't think so. I think he's a good man. Oh no, he couldn't have, surely. You have some wonderful notions. Sorry? The man isn't a mass murderer. He's a court prosecutor, my dear fellow. Oh, yes. Why, of course he is. Of course he is, then. Why are you trying to scare me? It could be said, however, that the real truth about the man is even more terrifying than your hypothesis. What on earth do you mean by that? The Reaper? Van Zieks is a quite exceptional man. However, in London courts of law, exceptional does not equate to winning every case without exception. Oh, that's good. Soseki-san looks like he's going to cry tears of joy. As you are no doubt aware, in a British criminal trial, there's both a judge and a jury. The judge officiates based on the letter of the law, whilst the jury offers public opinion and common sense. It is an excellent system whereby the defendant's guilt is considered from several points of view. However, public opinion in particular is somewhat easily manipulated. Right. Criminals and corrupt lawyers, for that matter, can use it to their advantage, by any means of their disposal, contriving evidence, calling impostors as witnesses, and so on. By such underhand means, those who would want to are able to sway the jury, which means that even in the light of irrefutable evidence, the prosecution can fail. But it means the wrong verdict can be passed. And sadly is from time to time, my dear madam, it is simply the reality of the situation. And that's alright. However, those indicted by Lord Van Zieks cannot escape justice. Their fate is sealed. Oh my! Though the adjudication may see them leave the courtroom with their freedom, within months they all disappear. It is most striking. Wait, are you for real? They disappear? But how? Ah, by all manner of misfortunes, sir. Perhaps they are trampled under a passing carriage. Perhaps they fall into the Thames and drown. Perhaps they are suddenly overcome by a raging fever, or perhaps attacked by highwaymen. Oh, no. All examples of the reality of events here in London, I'm afraid, Mr. Naruhodo. That's why he's called the Reaper. I knew it. I'm dead. No, done for. Doomed. When you said accursed lodgings before, you were referring to your room at Mr. Garudep's house, I assume. Do you mean to say you believe the place is cursed? It's been a year now since I came to Great Britain, but I'd only been in London a week before I started to notice strange feelings in myself. That didn't take long then. Strange feelings? Everywhere I looked, there were foreign faces staring at me, laughing behind my back. I was sure people were talking about me. I started to become nervous about going outside. They were always staring at me, all the time, from dawn to dusk. So I shut myself away in my room, but even that did not help. The fear wouldn't go away. It must have been very lonely having been away from your homeland for such a long time. I've had to move a number of times, most recently to that room on Briar Road a week ago now. Yes, why did you choose there? It seems a little inconvenient. The rent is cheap. I have so little money, it appealed to me straight away. Of course, I asked why it was so affordable. The landlord just simpered and said, "The room is cursed." Oops. He quickly tried to cover his mistake, but it was too late, so I told him, "If you have something to say, then say it. But if not, don't mention it in the first place." Yes, well said. But it was true. It was all true. You mean, the room really is cursed? Ever since I moved into the windowless hellhole. My sleep has been plagued with nightmares. I awake feeling as though I'm being choked to death. And in my waking hours, people are stabbed in front of me as I walk down the street. I'm branded a killer, thrown into prison. Nobody wants to know me. I'm surrounded by scary, sinister spirits. If only there was someone, just one person on my side. Can no one find it in his or her heart to believe in me? Really no one at all. To believe. Yes, to believe. Do we want to believe him? Mr. Sholmes. Ah, me, Mr. Naruhodo. Pray, what can I do for you? It's about a case on the SS Buria, if you recall. The Buria. Ah, that case. The one with the snake? Well, yes. At that time, I was the suspect, but you believed in me and listened to my side of the story. And you helped us to investigate. I did I? Interesting. Wait, did you forget already? What? What I want to know is why? Why did you believe me? I see, yes, you mean... Because you were a grimly dressed, shady Eastern fellow found with a victim in a locked room? Well, if you like, yes. I'm a little surprised that the answer requires explanation, my dear fellow. It's quite simple, really. You said I didn't do it. But I could have been lying. Surely you must have had your doubts. You must have suspected me a little. I think perhaps you have misunderstood. I neither recall believing in you, nor in that which you were telling me. I didn't have the feeling that he believed me. What? You see, the only things I believe in are those I choose to believe in. What? What do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? I make up my own mind about what is to be believed and what is not. If I should like to believe in something, I do. The circumstances can hang as far as I'm concerned. But I could have betrayed your trust. In that case, I should have made an elementary error of judgment, nothing more. Betrayal of trust is an overused excuse, in my opinion. Meaning? Whether or not one should trust another is, in the final analysis, down to oneself. Interesting thought. Yeah, if you trust someone and it turns out to be wrong, then the only one you can blame is yourself somehow, not the other person, because it is you who decided to trust the other person in the first place. Something like that? It is a matter of whether or not one can trust oneself. Yes, he's right. He's right, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Whether or not I can believe myself. A defense lawyer is only as good as his faith in his client. And that comes down to how much faith he has in himself. You were so right, Kazuma. Well, my dear fellows, it is time we were leaving, I believe. Already? Visiting hours are over. The guard will be here shortly to escort us out. There is a restaurant near here that serves excellent trout. Would you care to join me? Well, Natsume can't join you. Oh dear, there's never enough time, is there? Mr. Natsume, if you'd like, in the trial tomorrow, I'd be happy to represent you. Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. As I said, I only experienced the British courtroom for the first time yesterday. And although the man I was representing was found not guilty, I lost sight of something crucial. Something crucial? What to believe in. The defendant, justice, or the truth. How to believe, even. But I think I finally worked it out. I've decided I must believe in myself above all else, to trust my instincts. Yes, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh. Yes, Mr. Naruhodo. And my instincts are telling me that you, Mr. Natsume, are innocent of this crime. And it's imperative that we prove that in court. Welcome, student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. I will fight for your innocence until the bitter end, with every weapon available to me. so I hope you'll permit me to represent you tomorrow. As I said when we first met, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who will listen to me in my native tongue. Of course. It would be fair to say, Mr. Naruhodo, that your mind was in many ways made up from the outset. You merely needed the events of today to fully realize it. Yes, I think you're right about that. It's been a roundabout journey, but I got there in the end. Miss Susato? Yes? Would you be willing to stand by my side tomorrow and help me in court? Absolutely. As I said this morning, you may consider me your personal judicial assistant. Aw, thank you, Susato-san. The shocking events of yesterday's trial still weigh heavily on my mind, but it's time to stop looking backwards. Kazuma believed in me, and Mr. Sholmes believes in me now too. I don't think he said that. So it's time that I learned to believe in myself. Soseki-san has no one, he's all alone, so it's my job to help him, to fight his corner. Tomorrow, in the courtroom, with all the strength I can muster. Well, I never expected this. Who'd have thought we'd be back here again so soon? Well, I did agree to be a lawyer here in Great Britain, so I should have expected this. Just saying. We are on a study tour of Great Britain with the intention of learning the country's legal practices. In order to research the latest court procedures here, we need as much court experience as possible. Well, yes, I suppose that's true, but for the person in the dock, it may well be his or her one and only time in court, and it could be life-changing. In which case, treating it as research may seem a little crass. Oh, when you put it like that, you're quite right. Good morning. Mr. Natsume, good morning. Oh dear, are you alright? Your eyes are terribly bloodshot. The early bird catches the worm, as they say here in Britain. Yes, I've heard that expression. But I really don't want to catch the worm. So I tried desperately not to wake up early, but I was so worried I couldn't catch a wink. And now I'm absolutely exhausted as a result. Do all literary people take things so literally? Thank you for putting your faith in us today, Mr. Natsume. I wish I had 9 lives. My whole future hangs in a balance. I'm too terrified to tremble. But you are trembling. Because I can feel tremors in the floor. I can do this. I can't take it. Although, welcome student Mr. Naruhodo, Esquire. Yes. I caught a glimpse of the public gallery as I walked by the courtroom. It looked like the opening night of the opera. There were so many people. I had no idea my case was such a notorious affair here in London. Oh, neither did I. Do you know why that might be, Mrs. Sato? Well, it's because of the newly formed treaty between Japan and Great Britain, of course. I'm sorry, Mr. Naruhodo, but I have no idea. So that all-knowing look on your face is just coincidence then, is it? Don't hide the truth from me. It's because of the Reaper, isn't it? Lord Van Zieks? Is that right, Mr. Sato? I purchased as many different newspapers as I could find this morning, and yes, Lord Van Zieks is on the front page of everyone. I knew it. Sometime after the prosecutor was dubbed the Reaper of the Bailey, He stopped appearing in court, it seems. It's been several years now, in fact, until the day before yesterday. Yes, Inspector Gregson told us something similar, didn't he? Oh! So when he was titled the Reaper, he stopped being a prosecutor then. Interesting fact. The trial 2 days ago marked Lord Van Ziek's return to the courtroom after a very long hiatus. The trial of Magnus McGilted. What a harrowing experience that was. I believe that appearance made even greater waves here in the capital than today's. But we wouldn't have realized, of course, having only just arrived in the country. Why is the Reaper back in the Bailey so soon for what appears to be a mundane murder? That's the question the papers are asking, and they are all speculating various answers. Mundane is the most significant saga of the century to some of us. Oh dear, I meant no offense, Mr. Natsume, but that is how the papers are describing it. Well, lest we also forget the fact that it could spark an international incident. Obviously, the reappearance of this infamous prosecutor has caught people's attention. But there's another blatant similarity with the trial of 2 days ago. Okay, you knew of the trial 2 days ago? Yes, I agree. Look, I'm suited, Mr. Naruhodo, Esquire. It's you. Me? Well, I suppose that's true. Both times it is you who stands against this legendary prosecutor. It can only mean that you're friends with the Reaper. What? How did you come to that conclusion? Please, I don't rub shoulders with Deathbringers. I'm afraid that there's really only one other explanation. It can only be another example, Mr. Naruhodo, of your uncommon bad luck. Are you saying I'm now cursed too? Thanks for that. Oh, this is just my luck. Why must I be represented by a man with such frail fortune? But at least lucky lawyer alive! Well, let's not forget that it was you, Mr. Natsume, who asked me to represent you. Yes, it's true that I'm just a student, new to London, with little in the way of experience or skills or luck, but I promise you this. I will fight your corner until the bitter end, and I will believe in you, Mr. Natsume. Oh, benevolent locum student, Mr. Naruhodo, Esquire. You're not alone here with us, Mr. Natsume. Whatever happens, we will always be on your side. Oh, benevolent non-locum assistant, Miss Mikotoba, Esquiress. I am in your debt forever. I shall never forget this great kindness. Mr. Natsume, counsel for the defense. The court session is about to begin. Kindly make your way into the courtroom at once. Alright then, Mr. Natsume, it's time. Let's go. Yes. This is it. My second appearance in a British courtroom. And my second trial against the Reaper. I hope you're watching over me, Kazuma. Because this time, I won't let my faith waver. I'll believe my client to the last. Just like you believed in me. I believe I can do this now. I'm ready for this fight. A new set of jury. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session, and now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is fully prepared, my lord. The defense is ready, my lord. The Nipponese are a truly fascinating breed. Sorry, what? Lord Strongheart has told me all about you. That you are a student who arrived in London but 2 days ago, a mere amateur. do you have a point? Being a compatriot, you feel compelled to try to help the accused, I suppose. Typical Nipponese arrogance. Forgive me, but I do not believe arrogance is an appropriate description. Sato-san. After all, at our previous encounter, the defendant was found to be innocent. Wine so early in the proceedings of the trial? Very true, and the most fascinating, if dark, trial it was too. The tragic conclusion came later, of course. He is today acquitted, and his unfortunate violent end. Is he mocking us? I thought he was a good man, but maybe not? Thank you, counsels. I see both sides are in fine fettle. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, are you ready to carry out your duties here in court as impartial members of the public? Oh, him again? Wait, you never know when you might be down on your luck, but I believe in fair play for everyone. Well, I must warn you, I'm rather more ruthless than I appear. Oh well, not me. What you see is what you get. I'm a peace-loving fellow. I'm afraid to say, I think it's quite possible that mustached foreigner did the deed. Why are you in the jury? Come on, what are we waiting for? No doubt he did it anyway. Eh, sorry, didn't quite catch that. Very well, let us proceed. Your opening statement, if you please, Lord Van Zeeks. Very recently, Great Britain signed an alliance with a rising power in the Far East. The accused in the dock today is a student from the same land, a certain Mr. Soseki Natsume. And while our country has extended this foreign student the warmest of welcomes, regrettably, the kindness has not been returned. In fact, this student is accused of a most sinister act. Of plunging a knife into the back of an innocent woman who was doing nothing but walking down the street. A knife crime, I tell you from bitter experience, those are the worst. Bloody oath they are. Just look at that sallow complexion and short stature. He's one of those dreadful Japanese. Come on, let's go to the over with me now, everyone. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, didn't quite catch that. Pray forgive the discourtesy of smashing my hallowed chalice here in this great chamber. Allow me to call the first witness to the stand. Very well. Bailiff, lead the inspector in, please. Mr. Gregson. Your name and occupation, please. Yes, sir. Tobias Gregson, Detective Inspector of Scotland Yard. Would you please summarize the events of the case for the court, Inspector? The victim is thought to be a young woman in her 20s by the name of Olive Green. I beg your pardon, Inspector. Thought to be? Yes, having been stabbed in the back by her attacker's knife, the victim fell unconscious. That was 3 days ago now, and she's been comatose ever since. What? So they don't even know who she is for sure? Comatose, I see, but her life is not in danger. Fortunately for the Eastern student, the charge will not be murder. Pray elaborate on the details, Inspector. Sir, if I could ask everyone to look at the street map. As I mentioned, the incident took place 3 days ago at around 5 in the afternoon. It happened on a pavement running alongside Briar Road, a wide thoroughfare for horse-drawn vehicles. It had not long since stopped snowing as the victim, Miss Green, was walking down the street. Out of the blue, she was approached from behind by the accused and stabbed in the back. What is the symbol? Oh, that is supposed to be a bow tie and a woman's head with a hat. Okay, I see now. Luckily, the young lady's life was spared, and she's currently being treated in one of the city's hospitals. But being unconscious as she is, we've been unable to take a statement from her, of course. This is the case file with everything we know about the victim so far. Thank you, Inspector. The court will accept the documents as evidence, if you please. Let's look at the evidence. Young woman rendered unconscious following a stab wound to the back. Olive green female, stout build, early 20s. Pavement of the Briar Road, east side. Reporting officer Rolly Beat. The victim remains unconscious. Her name was gleaned from her personal effects. Other details are unknown. Apart from the single stab wound from the large knife, no other signs of injury were observed. The assailant was seen running away by the reporting officer and was successfully arrested the following day. What of the weapon that was used? Sir, I have that here. It was removed from the victim's back. Ouch, that big thing is starting to make me scared to walk down the street now. With a heavy blade like that, almost anybody would have been able to stab the poor woman. Even the scragged-looking Soseki-san, I suppose. A common or garden jackknife, I would say. Rather nondescript. Thank you, Inspector. The court accepts the blade as evidence. The jackknife. Now then, what do we know of the motive? Money or valuables, I presume? Very commonplace knife. No blood. Probably they cleaned it already. Oh, that's it? Okay. This? Is it just me, or is the top part missing or something? Oh, look here, Mr. Naruhodo, just at the tip. A small piece of the blade appears to be missing. You're right, well spotted, Mr. Sato. I wonder what could have happened to it. Yes, you don't think it could still be lodged in the victim, do you? Oh dear, I do hope not. That sounds terribly painful. From what we can tell by looking at the woman's possessions, it seems like she's a poor student herself. Hard to imagine she would have had anything much worth pinching, my lord. I see. Well, in that case, I'll be looking at some deep-seated resentment towards the victim. I'm afraid I couldn't say. Apart from visiting second-hand bookshops, the defendant, Mr. Natsume, doesn't appear to get out much. At this moment in time, we haven't been able to establish any sort of connection between him and the victim.
Yes!
Oh. If theft and grievance had been ruled out as the motive, what reason could Mr. Natsume possibly have had for stabbing the young woman? Yet you arrested the man in spite of that in a totally unjustified and heavy-handed way.
Objection!
Oh! Pray forgive the discourtesy of flinging a freshly uncorked bottle into the public gallery. Oh my god, so wasteful. What are you doing? Well, your words have soured its hallowed bouquet. For it is you, my learned friend, who is being heavy-handed here. What? Scotland Yard does not arrest people without good cause. That should be beyond question. Inspector Gregson, the prosecution calls for your formal testimony. Explain to the court precisely why the constabulary came to arrest a Nipponese student. Yes, sir. As I said, it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon when the incident occurred, and there was an unusually light fog. Visibility was reasonably good, and there was no one else around. about but the victim and the accused. Out of the blue, the victim was stabbed from behind and subsequently collapsed on the pavement. The accused ran off, scattering his belongings all over the floor, those being a number of old books he just bought. He was on his way home from a bookshop, it seems. It was just a matter of working out who the books belonged to, and we found the bloke to arrest him. Old books, you say? Yes, my lord, I have a photograph here of the scene of the crime taken immediately after the incident. Oh. Ah yes, I can clearly see the books to which you are referring. I will take that photographic print as evidence, please, Inspector. You Nipponese are a spineless breed, too cowardly to admit defeat. There are books all over the place. I can't find anything suspicious. There's snow all around. It was snowing? Denying everything despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary. Well, Forgive me, Lord Van Zieks, but the defendant is not denying everything, as you put it. What are you doing, Mr. Sato? Do go on. Oh, do pray... forgive me for that. Mr. Natsume has admitted to playing some part in the incident. Isn't that right, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, now you mention it. When we visited him in the prison yesterday, he did tell us what had all happened. As I was walking around that accursed pavement, I could make out the soft silhouette of another ahead of me. A woman wearing a green overcoat she was, and just as I went to overtake her, she suddenly let out a little scream and collapsed on the cold, hard slabs of stone at my feet. I was terrified. I had to get away from there, so I ran as far as my legs would carry me. A green overcoat. Well, that's exactly what a woman in the print is wearing. Oh my, a photographic print in full color! What will the world come up with next? The defendant has done nothing more than admit he fled the scene of a terrifying incident. That does not mean he is guilty of the heinous crime of stabbing the woman in the back. There was nobody else there at the time, just the two of them, the victim and the accused. In other words, there's nobody else who could possibly have stabbed the woman. A fact that the accused concedes. But there were witnesses, they were about. It seems this cross-examination could prove to be pivotal, counsel. Proceed, please. Yes, my lord, nothing for it. I have to use this cross-examination to turn the tables here as our only chance. Okay. Obviously there were witnesses around, so there has to be more. Hold it! How are you able to state that with, any certainty? Quite simply, my learned friend, because that is what the witnesses to this crime have told us. Ah yes, Inspector Gregson mentioned the witnesses yesterday. That's right, one of them is a policeman, I believe, from Scotland Yard. That is correct. Oh, that is correct, ma'am. Then we must hear their testimony. The prosecution will of course call them to the stand, should it be necessary. But wait a minute. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon in the middle of winter, it would have been dark already. No matter how light the fog might have been, no one could have seen... I'm unaware of the situation of your tiny island in the east. But here, the capital city of Great Britain, all main roads are illuminated in the night by gas street lights. Ah, the prosecution believes there would have been ample light by which to witness the crime. Quiet, here in London, for the first time in history, mankind has completely conquered the darkness. Which means we really need to hear those witness statements. If I could just get through the fog of this cross-examination, maybe we'll be able to. Seems the counsel for the defense is taking stock. Continue. Scattering all his belongings. Nothing wrong with his statements, though. What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? If you're unable to sway the jury during this cross-examination, I'm afraid that Mr. Natsume's fate will be sealed. Yes, they're sure to find him guilty. So one way or another, I have to expose an undeniable inconsistency in the inspector's testimony.